In this video, I'm going to prove to you that eating healthy is actually going to cut your food bill in half. First, we're going to talk about what most Americans do, which is what I call the chaos diet. So most of the time, you wake up, you have no plan of what you're going to eat that day, or even when you're going to eat. So oftentimes, this makes us choose easy, fast food meals that aren't very good for us and are very high in calories. So let's take a week. Let's say we go to Starbucks in the morning. We get a $7 fancy drink, whatever is out that week. You could make that same thing at home for probably a third of the price. You know, if you drink black coffee, it's even less expensive. It's probably going to be less than $1 a day. And then say for lunch, you got super busy, so you deliver McDonald's to your work. That's going to be double the price of what you'd be spending. If we see here a Big Mac, $10.15 for the meal. Oh, now that it's delivered, now you're spending almost $20 for that same meal. For a meal that's very high in calories and does not provide a lot of nutritional value. Now, let's say you go out, birthday party, you're going to Texas Roadhouse. Not necessarily unhealthy food, but now you're spending $20 on a steak, and you're getting an appetizer, and you're getting a drink, and then you got to tip the waiter. Now this is already going up way higher than what you expected it to be. You might be spending over $30, $40. And so let's say you did all this during one day. You got Starbucks in the morning, you got McDonald's for lunch, and then you went out and ate Texas Roadhouse. That's going to be almost $62 probably, $60 to $70 for 2,700 calories, and that's only 2 meals and 1 drink. And not only is it very difficult to even eat healthy when you're going out to fast food or restaurants or getting a drink out of Starbucks, it's also a money grab. You know, they're constantly throwing advertisement in your face. Or are you trying to check out? They're like, oh, you want to add this? You want to add this? All right, they're going to come. You want any appetizers? You want us to refill your drink? Right? And it's very easy to overeat, especially when you're at somewhere like Texas Roadhouse. They have got those super good rolls. You put some of that cinnamon butter on them, and now you've just added 400 calories because you had 2 of them. For $62, you got 2 meals, 1 drink. And what if I told you you could spend that same amount of money and get almost a week's worth of food, 4 meals a day and a snack? Here in this Macro Factor app, you can see that here's a example of a day eating 2,100 calories. We're getting a lot of protein. We're getting very healthy whole foods in. And how much do you think this costs? You know, it's healthy, right? So it must be expensive. Well, this isn't $20, it's not even $15. You could probably get this at Walmart or H-E-B or whatever, Aldi, all these very inexpensive grocery stores for about $10 a day. And a lot of people make the excuse, they'll say, well, I don't have time to cook. I don't have time to make all these meals. Guys, the oatmeal and that yogurt bowl, they take a few minutes to make. You can make that super fast. And the rest of those meals, the chicken, the beef, the rice, the broccoli, the potatoes, you can meal prep that within an hour. And I guarantee you probably have an hour at some point during the week. You probably spend an hour sitting at the Texas Roadhouse waiting to get sat down. So you can really see the price difference of this. You're spending $10, $11, $12 a day on average cooking your own meals, right? We could easily blow through that budget by going out to eat once or going to get fast food delivered. And I'm not saying you cut those out completely, but maybe do it once a week or once every 2 weeks, once a month. This will save you so much money that you can put to stuff that's actually beneficial for you, because all this food that you're getting from fast food's not good for you at all. It's loaded with sodium, loaded with unhealthy fats, loaded with a bunch of preservatives. So you might say, well, there's no way you're spending that much at the grocery store. When I go there, it's way more expensive. Well, the trick is you gotta buy in bulk and you gotta buy the cheaper brands. I promise you it'll save you so much more money. Instead of going in there getting the fancy chicken that's already pre-cut or even cooked, you're spending 2-3 times more per pound. Instead of just get the cheaper one that maybe you'll have to cut some of that rib meat off there, but you're gonna save so much money. You'll be spending half the money you would, right? Other things like buying bulk potatoes, bulk white rice, it'll save you so much money in the long run, and it'll last you. You won't have to keep going back to the grocery store. I just bought a 20-pound bag of basmati rice. I still have only gone through like half of it, and it's been like 2 months. But the thing is, you need to have a game plan when you go to the grocery store, because just like fast food places, they're trying to sell you a whole bunch of stuff that you definitely don't need. So generally, you want to stick to the outsides, right, where the produce is, where the fresh foods are at, because once you go in those aisles, you're going to be like, ooh, Cocoa Pebbles. I love cocoa pebbles. If I see cocoa pebbles, I'm probably gonna want to buy them. So stick to the foods that you know you need. Make a list. Go in there. You don't even have to go in the store. Make a pickup order, and so you know you're not gonna be walking down the candy aisle and start picking up stuff that you don't need. Another tip is don't shop all at the same place. Some places are gonna have way cheaper, way better brands. For example, if I go to H-E-B, they don't really have very good chicken options compared to Walmart. So I go to H-E-B, I'll go to Walmart, I'll pick up different stuff, depends on what I need. For instance, when I get sunflower seeds, Walmarts are way cheaper. And so I go to Walmart to get that. Another issue people face when trying to cook meals for themselves is the taste. Because if you're not used to cooking, you're probably not going to be very good at it, just like with everything. Just like with me making videos, I'm not very good at it yet, but I'm trying. So what you want to do, find a recipe online, copy it, buy spices, they're relatively cheap. Throw some spices on there, find what different ways to cook it so you don't get tired of eating the same thing over and over. Have options, so like I'll show here, you have options, switch them out. You know, instead of eating beef and broccoli and potatoes, you eat beef, rice, and spinach. You know, just switch it up. Find 3 good meals, keep those in a rotation. Example of what I do is I eat the same 2 breakfasts every day, and I eat the same 2 lunches every day. I don't get tired of it. I'll switch it up every once in a while, maybe switch the protein flavor, maybe I'll make it different. But in general, I'm eating the same foods all the time, and it makes it super easy. I don't have to think about it. I'm not like, oh, I didn't bring lunch today. I guess I got to go spend $15 on a Chipotle burrito. And I know it seems complicated. You don't have to completely 180 reverse your diet. Start making decisions every single day. Hey, I'm going to make a breakfast every single day. It's going to be high protein, good sources of fat, good sources of carbs. I'm going to eat that every single day. And then you're like, hey, I'm going to start bringing my lunch to work. I'm going to start bringing a snack to work that's good for me. And if you start making these decisions, then now instead of not knowing what you're going to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, now you know what you're going to eat for breakfast, you know what you're going to eat for lunch, you got a little snack too. Now you just got to worry about dinner. So that takes out 2 of the 3 meals. Now you only have to worry about one thing for that day. Another benefit of doing this is actually you're going to feel way better doing this. Guys, I ate some McDonald's fries a few months ago. Felt like crap afterwards. It hurt my stomach. I'm like, I can imagine eating this every day. And I don't. Instead, I'll make some potatoes and throw some seasoning on them. They taste better than McDonald's fries, and they're actually good for you because they're not fried. So what I want y'all all to do is just start building a system. All right, that's what I'm all about, is building systems, building standard operating procedures. And once you do those and you follow them, then it takes away so much of the work where you're having to spend every day cooking. Well, don't do that. Just cook on Sunday, and you don't have to worry about it for 4 days. Having meals like that yogurt, like the oatmeal, where you can easily take them anywhere with you. They're very fast to make. They're very tasty. They're very good for you. Just start making these systems for yourself, and you'll see that it's way easier to eat healthy. So what I'm going to do is drop a free PDF down in the description. It's going to give you a list of very cheap options for protein, carbs, and fats. And it's also going to give you good grocery stores on where to find cheap options of this. And then also, if you ever need help and you're like, this is way too much work, I just want someone to tell me what to do, visit vectorsop.com. I'll have it linked in the description, and you can set up a call with me. We can start making a plan and a system and a standard operating procedure for your life that's going to make it so much easier. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope y'all like it. Subscribe. I only have like 2 subscribers, so I would appreciate it. See ya!